Hi folks, welcome to your latest MWIS Outlook, this updated on Tuesday the 27th of April. We've got a rather chilly pattern that's back with us as we go to the end of April and into the start of May, as well as a general north or northeasterly airflow is around. Not too much wind though as we go towards the weekend. We can expect some showers day on day with some hail and some snow across the hills at times, not amounting to a great deal, but some local slow-moving springtime downpours with isolated thunder are to be expected. This chart shows you the freezing level and will take you through towards the weekend. It's going to be a familiar story where there's a diurnal range of temperature where we'll see some frost overnight in many valleys and glens and some sheltered high-level spots as well, and then typically will rise just above freezing point to many high tops through the daytimes. Now first thing Wednesday morning, as a little zone of low pressure and associated rain rotates around across the Midlands and Wales, we may well see some snowfall across the Welsh hills, even below 400 or 500 metres for a time. Before then we go into a more showery situation with some hail as we go onwards through the day. You get the sense then that freezing level does just come up a little bit and that we get to around 1,000 metres, maybe even up to 1,200 metres across some parts of Western Scotland through Wednesday afternoon. The frost will come down again overnight and we'll go back through the whole sequence day on day as we go towards the weekend. Coldest of the air is typically across more northeastern regions, so the far north of Scotland, the Cairngorms, around the Cheviots and the North Pennines will typically feel the coldest, with temperatures only just above freezing point. On some high tops around the Cairngorms we may stay just below zero even into the afternoons in the days ahead. We'll typically rise a couple of degrees above though, say towards the Ben Nevis range through the afternoons, and around Snowdon, around the tops of the Lake District, likewise we should be just above freezing point by the afternoons. Similar situation right through the weekend. Not a great deal is changing on this chart, the same sequence repeating itself day on day. Maybe just, if anything, a slight rise of freezing level a little bit further as we go through to Sunday, but it's still on the high tops, you're only just going to be above zero. The good news will be that there's not too much wind around as we go into the weekend, but it's a rather gusty situation that's in play on Wednesday, especially across the tops of England and Wales, with a cold northeasterly flow that's coming in, not quite as windy across the Highlands, but still a notable chill in exposure on the high tops. Now there's the little area of a front across Wales that brings the risk of some fairly organised rain and hill snow early in the day before that turns into showers, and a scattering of showers coming in from the northeast across Scotland and northern England that will break out a bit more widely as the day goes on. And that will be more or less how these charts look in the next few days. It's that general northeasterly flow that stays rather chilly. We're rather in between weather systems really. There's not too much dynamic action going on. It's just springtime showers. And the green blobs on this chart is this particular model just doing its best to resolve those. They'll form typically across more northeastern coastal districts coming inland in the mornings, and then by the time we get through into the afternoon those showers will pop up more widely inland and across more western areas with a local heavy burst with some hail, and you wouldn't rule out a rumble of thunder almost anywhere, but a very isolated risk day on day. Most of the showers won't have that, but they will have some hail and there'll be some snow flurries around. I'll skip through fairly quickly because there's not a great deal changing in that general situation. There's Friday, we're still seeing some showers popping up through the day. Saturday, we're just losing the isobars on the chart, so there's hardly any wind left by this stage. It may just change to some extent the distribution of where showers do form. One or two around coastal districts in the morning, and then more typically into the afternoon forming inland, and with not much wind where they do form, they'll cluster together and move around quite slowly, so you could get more than just a shower if you do just get those localised zones forming. Away from those, there'll be some very clear air, the cloud bases will be above the hills, and there'll be some sunshine around, and you may well get away with a largely dry day, but do always just watch out for those showers building up. It's a rather cool atmosphere, so that classic springtime situation of showers building as the daytime goes on. Little area of low pressure over the Atlantic trying to nose its way in. It doesn't do too much to the story, I think, through the weekend. Again, through Sunday, not much wind, staying rather cool, temperatures just rising a bit through the daytime, and again, the risk of some showers breaking out Locally, quite organised little clusters by the afternoon, but some places missing these altogether. Local subtleties of the very light wind may just dictate where those form. Some places then will get away with it, some places may just see the odd heavy downpour, again with hail and a chance of an isolated rumble of thunder. So quite a slow-moving weather situation as we go through to this weekend. By the time we get into next week, there's just some suggestions that the Atlantic is becoming a bit more organised with lower pressure, and that may just push in across us. I'm only going to really show this chart because the detail of any other map at the moment is not showing anything too clever, but the message of being somewhat lower than average pressure that's just near to us, and the risk of a deeper zone of low pressure just encroaching off the Atlantic as we go a bit further into the middle of next week. So a little bit more unsettled compared to what we've seen, and the risk may be over a day or so of some quite organised showers, some heavier bursts of rain, maybe something a bit more prolonged at times if a low does move in. We're just maybe trying to get something a bit milder coming in across the south of Britain as the wind turns somewhat more southwesterly, but we could still hang on to a generally cool situation across Scotland, especially in the northern half of the Highlands. Again, still the risk of some snow and some hail coming down at times. We may well have the odd windy day in there as well if a deeper low does just move across the country. So a different story as we go into the start of May compared to what we've been used to quite often through the month of April. You can stay up to date with all your local forecasts, of course, every day on our website, and the next planning video online on Friday. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.